go. Okay, we're live on YouTube and Facebook.
Oh,
Ooh. We're
what's
live
up?
on
What's
both
up? What's
places
up?
now.
How we doing tonight, beautiful family, friends, lovely people on this Thank God for Favor Friday. I am your boy Ray. I am your motivator. I am your inspirator. And most importantly, I am your transformator.
And what am I?
You are Queen Sarai, and you get to say what you are.
I am the motivator and the transformator. No.
Come on. See if you could do it like me. See if you could do it like me.
I am your motivator. I am your transformator. And what else?
No, backwards. I'm backwards.
Well, I'm the opposite. I'm the other
And
side.
you, and your head nod is too much of a woman. Like my head doesn't nod like yours does.
I'm gonna share to all the groups really quick before we get
You do what you got. I was just listen. I like this song because it talks about, man. We just I one. Well, there's only one name really that I would want to remember, but I think everybody's got to get to a point in life where they want their name remembered for good reasons, and that's why we started this podcast, right?
Yes.
So I think so. So for everybody joining us tonight, here. Oh, my volume's up. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this StreamYard, guys, and for some reason my video's really not good, and I look like I'm in the Matrix all the time. But anyways, how are you guys doing this evening? Go ahead and comment. Tell us where you're coming from. Tell us how your Friday is. Let us know look, just let us know how you're feeling. And if you ain't feeling fired up, I hope we get you fired up. If you're already fired up, I hope we light you. I hope we send you to the moon then, because tonight we're gonna talk on this is Sarai's night, so this is her topic night. I got my coffee, I got my ammunition. I'm ready to go. Look, I gotta tell you guys a secret. So I had this great idea, right? So this young king, he put on Facebook about a bunch, who wants to come into football, who wants to come play football. So I was like, oh, bet, man, I love these young men. So I was like, I'll come out there. I'm 40. They're like 18, 19, chiseled as a rock. I show up. There's like 19 young studs out there. And here's this old me, like what the heck did I get myself into? So I did it, though. And let me tell you, the ground is not the same ground when I hit it when I was 17 years old. It hurts now. So
Raymond's out there with college and high school guys trying to
studs. And guys, it was fun. It was fun to hang out with a bunch of young kids that were putting in work. You know what I mean? A lot of them are kind of unsure about college and they're unsure about moving forward, but they're out there putting in work. They're out there keeping themselves out of trouble, just enjoying it. And they're out there running drills and stuff. I didn't do none of the drills, by the way. I didn't do no drills. I just played. I told them I'm already warmed up. I just want to play in the game. But I hung with them.
At the point of doing drills, then all of a sudden you wanted to be a coach. You're like, I'll just tell you guys what to do. Huh?
No. So I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm old school. See, when we got together to play football, it wasn't no two-hand touch and flag. It was tackle football. So we went out there. We were playing 7 on 8 on 8, and I'm like I was ready to play tackle. I might have not came home in 2 pieces or 1 piece, but anyways. So how we doing? What's going on, Lisa? How you doing tonight, Lisa? So
we got a few people out there. We have Elsie, we got Lisa, Stacy called us the dream team. Yeah. Lisa says she's feeling blessed. And so today we're going to talk about being intentional or live with regret. And you get to choose. And today we're going to give you 8 assumptions or 8 things that cause a gap in your growth and in your ability to be intentional. But before we do that, I want to introduce myself and talk about something else too. But I want to introduce myself if this is the first time you and I connect, and if this is the first time you guys see us. My name is Sarai Nammur. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. I'm the founder of Trinity Community Mental Health Center and Circle of Champions Worldwide. And I'm extremely passionate about helping people get closer to their greatness, which really means just getting you closer to being the authentic you. And this is just what I live for. This is what I preach. This is what I talk about. This is what I'm always teaching about. And every week we try to bring you stuff to achieve that, to achieve your transformation to the greatest you possible. And I'm gonna let my oh wait, this way.
Were you gonna call me your sidekick?
I was.
I am so listen.
Did you hear it?
Nobody calls Raymond a sidekick.
Well, last week we were Beauty and the Beast. Last week we were Beauty. So this week we're like, I don't know what we are.
I am so no sidekick. So no sidekick.
Oh,
Anyways, I can be a sidekick. I'm just kidding. So those that know me, I'm Raymond. I'm Raymond Wright. I'm with CEO, founder of Right Way Leadership Transformational Coaching. And like I say, I do try to be that motivator for you. I try to get you to get going, to get moving, to get fired up. But I also try to inspire you. And the inspiration comes from the eternal flame. I want you to actually do something with the information that you get, right? Even if it's one nugget, apply it immediately. It's all about application. And then the transformation piece is really, it's giving you the tools, it's giving you the resources. And and as a transformational coach, I'm actually partnering with you. I'm teaming up with you and helping you get to the life that you've always wanted to live. Right. And I think that's an important thing. So tonight, this is all about Sarai's topic. She's the one who put it all together. Hey, Dahlia, how you doing tonight, Queen? Brother Jeffrey, good to see you. Much love, much love. I know Queen Elke's on here. I think I don't know how to say the name. Cuthbert, is that? How do you say that?
Look at what we are this week. We're Kid and Play.
I love Kid and Play. Okay. Story time. I had a friend of mine, right? And when we did a talent show, this was my friend Tyrone. He was Play, I was Kid. And we did the dance for our talent show. Now, look, I'm telling you right now, house party, baby. House party. Our teacher didn't know what the heck was going on. That's a good story though, Kid and Play. Look at you. Elke bringing out old school in the house. I wish I had some Kid.
So we're Kid and Play tonight. All right, so tonight is going to be awesome. All right, so first of all is, why is it so important for us to be intentional in our lives? And why is it? It's because...
I caught a fly.
Oh, wow. You see what I'm talking about? That was nasty. Oh, so nasty.
I got it. Sorry. Listen, it's been a long day. My body hurts. I got to have fun or I'll fall asleep on you guys.
I love the dance. I love that dance. All right,
come on, let's go.
Growth and success and prosperity does not happen by accident. You're going to keep saying, yeah? The good life that you want, the good life that we could each achieve, the good life, that vision that we have of the possibility of the life that we want, it could probably be 10 times better than that. And none of that will happen without intention. That's why I thought it would be such a great topic tonight, to talk about the need to go forth in life with intention. Okay, so do you want to say something about that, or that was my introduction?
No, look. You're the captain of the ship. I'm just a crew member for the ride.
All right. So so I know we're always talking about intention, but being intentional, you really have to master a few things in order to be intentional on a consistent basis, or else we'll be intentional like one day or one moment, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about being intentional on a consistent basis. So there are a few things that we must master in order to be intentional like that. And I'm going to say these like sort of quick, because I really want to get into the other points I want to make. But there's some things that you really have to master. So one of the things is we have to master our thoughts. We have, especially when things get difficult, bad things happen in our life, or, when that rainy day comes, that's the day where our intention could be broken. That's the day where everything could fall apart and we could lose momentum. And if we lose momentum for, let's say, even a month or 2 months of losing momentum will make a huge difference in your ability to succeed that year. So one thing we need to master is the meaning that we give to things. And we always talk about this, the meaning that we give to things and the thoughts that we have when things happen, so that we could be consistent in our intentions. That's number one. And you could jump in whenever you want, Raymond, because I'm just going to move on to the next one if you don't jump
I'm
in.
actually just being schooled and educated right now. Huh?
I guess you are. You always say that.
I was being schooled. I was being schooled in assumption. I was waiting for you to put something up on the screen.
No, I didn't do that. So now you put me out there. But I just want to say this. Okay, go.
I have to share this too. So I'm telling some secrets tonight, right? So
Okay,
Sarai gets so mad at me because I'm like I can put together a talk in like the matter of moments, because I just feel like I got so much content, and you give me a topic and I'm like a freestyle rapper. Like I'll spit out a talk, right? And she's very the opposite. Everything, she wants her dots, her T's crossed, her periods there. She wants us. So I drive her crazy because, yeah, it's what's the Odd Couple? Remember the Odd Couple? One was really sloppy and the other one was really like, or grumpy.
Brilliant.
I don't even know.
The other one was brilliant and one was sloppy.
So I'm the brilliant one?
No, you're the sloppy one. You're the sloppy
I am the
one.
sloppy one. You ought to see my desk right now.
So, like, I fell off. I totally fell off. This is why this is so important. This talk is actually a great talk for me right now. So I totally fell off the bandwagon. I haven't done Thrive Talk for possibly 2 months now.
The guy's message, that's the guy you're supposed to do it with.
Yeah, he's right there. That's why I just got reminded of it. I just got reminded of him. And I've been bumping him up. Stacy, Jeffrey, and Derek. I've been bumping them up every week because of so many things have happened, but real things have happened, Raymond. So don't act like they really haven't happened.
I got you, Jeffrey. Hey, Jeffrey, I got you, brother. I got you.
What is it? Resistance to those
persistent resistance to those who want to steal your dreams, need to secure your life every day. Absolutely.
Absolutely. We really have to guard our mind and the thoughts so that we can remain consistent. So the next number 2 is that the other thing we need to master is our emotions. And that's part of being emotionally intelligent. And we all, like, I don't know if you want to jump into that one, but our emotions could really take us off path. They could, our emotions could really, if we don't have our goals right in front of us before our emotions, we could either stop doing things or do things because we're either experiencing an emotion or because we don't feel like doing it, which we're going to get into that a little bit later. So that's the second thing that we have to master in order to be intentional. And then number 3, I hope you guys are ready. Number 3 is we need to master how we use our time. So those are the 3 main points that I want to say that we need to master: our thoughts, our emotions, and our time. And you could jump in and say something about that before we go into the real stuff that we're going to talk about today, are the growth gap traps. I had to say that slow because I can't say it quick. Growth gap.
I'm just trying to stay a part of the show because I'm lost. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay, we're really gonna get into 8 points, which are called the growth.
I know that. But
I just mentioned 3 things that we have to master.
Okay. Just listen, Linda. So the StreamYard thing is difficult for me because I'm trying to look at the comments because they're not up here like they are for me usually, because you got control, boss. So I'm having, and then you're spitting topics off and I'm not seeing where they're at because my phone keeps so anyways, guys, please forgive me tonight. This is Tracy's laughing at us because what were we talking about?
Okay. Raymond, get it together. Wait, I have to clap. Get it together. Go like this. Go like this so you could recenter yourself.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, I'm just gonna take over, guys. He ran too much today. Didn't have enough to eat, and his sugar level's low. So he ain't thinking. But I'm gonna think.
Tell me. What were we? What did you want me to comment on?
I went over some things that we must master in order to be intentional. One of them was our thoughts, our emotions, and our
time. Okay.
Those are the three things that we must, guys, write that down for my co-host who doesn't know what we're doing. This is
I'm sorry.
because we came on late. Look, Stacy says, "Are we in mesquite?" So those are the three things we must master. The next thing that we're gonna get into, the next thing we're
Ourselves. We got to we do Tracy. We do have to master ourselves too. By the way, I'm sorry. I'll be good. I'll behave. I'm on.
Guys, we're always like this. I just think it's a little worse because it's 7:30 at night. But now that we got into that 7:30 at night thing, let me say something else. Can you guys vote for us? Like, should we come in at 10 in the morning? Look at Raymond practicing his smile.
No. We were talking about either doing Friday evening or Wednesday evening. We took the 10 a.m. thing away.
Oh, okay.
See? Bingo!
So should we do Friday evening tonight at 7:30 p.m. or should we do Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m.? Just go ahead and let us know what you guys think is best because we really need to know. It's like a little battle.
We can't figure things out ourselves.
What did you both put in your drinks before this live? This is all the time.
Jeffrey, I can't lie. That run, look, I had to double my coffee up. So I can't get it.
Look, Ryan says Friday.
You guys, do you guys see why I always come on in the morning and the afternoon? Because by the time nighttime comes, I think I get senile. Is it senile?
No, you ran too much. I prefer evenings. I work during the day. Okay. And Zori, do you prefer like Wednesday evening or Friday evening? Everybody vote. Should we come on Friday evening?
I think Wednesday evening because Friday, I don't know. It's like
I like the election. Conviction felons aren't allowed in this. I don't know. We gotta talk later, Stacey. I'm like lost. I'm acting like Raymond. I'm lost. Okay, so we already talked about the things we gotta master. So guys,
get on track.
If you're taking notes, the next thing we're gonna talk about are the 8 growth gap traps. I have to say slow because if I say it fast, it'll come out. Oh my.
Say it fast one time. You gotta say it fast one time.
Growth gap. Growth gap trap. I can't say it, guys. And also, if this is the first time you join us, we're like comedy hour every time we're doing these.
We're gonna get it together. We're promised. We're gonna get it together. See, thank you, Zori. Well, let's focus, kids. Elkie said, "Let's." All right, Wednesday it is. Everybody, I seen 2 Wednesdays. That's all I need to. You're. I'm an Alzheimer.
Friday, everyone is a little more tired because
I agree. Thank you, Zori. I was trying to tell her that.
MJ said Friday. All right, we'll figure it out after everyone finished voting. So we're gonna talk about the growth gap traps. The first trap is the assumption gap. And the assumption gap says that, you know what, I don't have to try because anyways, I'm gonna grow regardless. As time goes by, I'm gonna learn stuff and I'm gonna grow. Even if I try or don't try, I'm still gonna grow. So that is the number one. That's the first one. That's the first growth gap trap. And
can I jump in on that one real quick?
I just want to give a disclaimer before you jump in, and I know you're eager to jump in, but the disclaimer I want to give is that this is from the 15. Mike, I'll tell you afterwards.
It's the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. It's a fantastic book, and you guys know that I am a firm believer and think that it's detrimental to everyone's development that they have type of personal growth or self-development. I think in any endeavor that you want to succeed in life, I think it's very personal that you get personal with your personal development. I'm so out of it tonight. You guys are in trouble. Right, I hope you guys stick with us because I might not make it.
So has anyone out there experienced that? Has anyone out there experienced where you feel like, or do you know someone, especially like younger kids are like, I don't need to do that because anyways, I'm going to learn anyway, or it's going to happen anyway. So that type of thought is the assumption gap, that you assume that it's going to happen for you just because the calendar is flipping or because the time is going by. And that is a trap. That's a growth trap because it won't obviously you're not going to be intentional about your growth if you're feeling like it's going to happen anyway. So I think this mostly happens with younger people, with kids. I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you think, Raymond?
Well, I think Tracy just said Howard Stern.
Yes, that's what I said.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, Tracy, you're a trip. So the assumption gap for me, I want to take it kind of a different route, because I think the assumption gap is the fact that people think, right, if I just do this, then things will change. If I just do that, then things will change. If I go to college, then I'll be successful. If I get a degree in this, then this will happen. So we assume, because we assume that there's a specific that we need to do, that the results will come when we do it. No. There's so much more work to do than just assuming if I do one task that everything will be handed to you, right? Assumption will kill you. It will literally stop you dead in your track. So I just wanted to share that.
Or just assuming that because you show up to a thing that you're going to get the knowledge. No, you have to be intentional and take notes. You, like right now, you guys are on this live. I know we're playing around and we're laughing and all of that because we're like the comedy club. But at the same time, if you take notes on the key points, this is major stuff that could change your life for real. If you just use one of these things, it'll change the direction of your life. So, Jeffrey says,
I think every live that I do, it is motivating, because I really want to shake people at their core, but there's always educational principles in it. I always tell people, anytime I talk, you are going to get some type of nuggets at where you're at in life, because I allow God to speak through me most of the times. And, I believe that. What are you laughing at?
I was just gonna say, because everybody heard what you just said. Of every live you do, every day.
No. I was saying, but like in general, like when I do lives, I always say that. So, and I was going to go back and say, even when Sarai does her Thrive talks, and so you know what? I'm not talking anymore tonight.
Did you hear how he said Thrive Talk, and he made fun of my Thrive Talk? All right, so
I did not. Hey, Raymond, I need your assistance, bro. Take care of my light work.
Elke is supporting you and reinforcing your behaviors. She said he does Raymond right and beautifully. Raymond.
She's talking about how God speaks through me. Thank you, Queen Elke. Said I was trying to make fun of that.
On you, but yes, and don't forget to watch Raymond on Sunday night, because he's doing his spiritual talks that are like the bomb.
I got a guest Sunday.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, okay. It's going to be powerful.
So
anyways, stay on track.
The first growth gap trap was the assumption gap. The next gap is the knowledge gap, which is that it's feeling like you don't. Okay, that's the person who says, you know what, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to do things differently in my life. I just don't know how. So the knowledge gap is knowing that you want to, but not knowing the how. It also implies that you know where you want to be. It also implies that you know where you're at, and it implies where you want to be. So you do know what your growth gap is, but you just don't know how to get there. And what happens is, and this is great for us, and there's a lot of coaches here watching tonight as well, but it's important now to talk about why it's so important to have a coach. And both Raymond and I are transformational coaches, and there's a lot of coaches here. But the whole point of having a coach is that your coach is going to build a bridge between where you're at and where you need to be. And that bridge connects. It's all about your growth gap. So that's what I was going to say. I was going to say how important it is to have a coach, and how important it is to kill that trap. You could have someone, or you learn skills, or you have someone who's going to get you there. Raymond, go ahead. Just go.
I just heard you talking about killing some trap or something. I don't know what that was.
I heard myself too. That's why I was like, let me just stop talking and go. Does that make sense, guys? So if you have someone, like, for example, I mean, I've had pretty much a coach ever since, I would say, for the last like 20 years. I've had multiple coaches.
Who was your first coach? Who was your first coach?
My first coach was Tony Robbins. My first coach was Tony Robbins, listening to his
Did you ever meet Tony Robbins?
Yes, I met him. I have a picture with him and everything. Like
No. Like, but your mentorship came through going to see him, reading his books, and listening to his audios mainly, right?
Yes. Yeah, I invested in his audios.
The reason I was bringing that up is because sometimes before, you don't have to go run on the first person who looks shiny. What you do is you allow the books and you allow the audios and you allow like these talks and seminars to actually be your mentor until you find the right person that actually, because you have to find the right mentor, right? And the mentor is not going to be all chummy with you all the time. Your mentor sometimes is going to be one that sees your blind spot, kicks you in your butt, but keeps you on track at the same time. So I just want to say, because right now I don't have direct mentorship. I have a coach that I use, right? But I don't have a direct mentor. But I do have like a spiritual mentor. I have multiple mentors. So if you are currently looking for someone, you haven't found it, make sure you continue to read the books and listen to the audios and find powerful things that you can lock on that's going to help build you on a daily basis. So
it could also be books. It could also be buying a book and just being, holding yourself accountable and learning new skills. Because of course we're talking about
growth. I said.
Huh?
That's what I said. I said books. I said books.
I didn't hear you say that. He does speak through you again. I saw that again.
No, that was the old one.
All right. So exactly what Raymond just said. Then I don't want to steal his thunder.
No, I don't even think you were listening to me.
Anyway, so
it's okay. Let's go.
So that was the knowledge gap. The knowledge gap was that, but there's many ways you could build that bridge. You could hire a coach. You could you could have classes. You could read. You could do even on YouTube. You can watch stuff on YouTube if you want to learn.
I do it all the time, every day. So when it comes to the knowledge gap, I am very precise with the information I put in my mind. I wake up in the morning, I do my devotions, I do my Bible readings while I listen to like some meditation music in the background. And then I always spend at least 45 minutes to an hour and a half in personal development through a YouTube video or an old audio I used to listen to. I'm very intentional with the knowledge gap. I don't want to have, we're always going to have gaps, but it's so important to continue to feed us with great information, with great literature, whatever it is to you. And it doesn't even, whatever you are truly want to succeed in, you have to fill the knowledge gap with that particular thing, but also be willing to learn other things too that will strengthen your weaknesses. So anyways, thank you.
Okay, so number three, so number three is called the timing gap. And the timing gap is, it's not the right time to begin. And I know we've all experienced that. We've all experienced thinking, oh, it's not the right time to move out. It's not the right time to have a baby. It's not the right time. I don't have enough money now, so it's not the right time to start school. It's, we've experienced so many, it's not the right times. And there's a story that I heard one time, which is there's 5 baby birds on a tree, I guess on their little nest, and 4 of them decide to fly, to finally leap off. And that's really great for as far as transformation goes, because it does take a leap and a leap of faith to transform and to make decisions and stuff like that. So Raymond, I have a question for you. There's 5 birds 5 little birdies on the tree. 4 of them decide that they're gonna leap off, right? How many leaped off?
4.
No, because there's a big difference between action and just making a decision. So they decided to leap off, but I didn't say they actually did it. So what am I really saying there? I tricked you. What am I really saying there? What I'm really saying there is that it isn't enough to make a decision. You have to take action. There really is no transformation just by decision alone. you have to take action in order for the transformation to happen. You have to take action in order for, for you to accomplish those goals, in order for you to get closer to the life that you want to live, in order for you to have that life the good life, the life that we were talking about. It takes action. So boom, I'm going to throw it to you now.
I truly think that you set that thing up on purpose. I think you were waiting for that. You guys see that, right? She was waiting for that opportunity to set me up. Oh man, made me look bad. Anyways, so when I think of the timing gap, this is what I think. I saw commitment and action as key from Carrie. I saw commitment from Tracy, and I think when it comes to time, this is basically when it comes to time. Time is going to pass by whether you grow or not. And you get to choose what you want the rest of your life to look like. You get to choose what you want your time to look like. Though there might become, to get from point A to point B, it's going to take work. But that time is going to pass anyways. That time is going to pass anyways. So why not bunker down and get to work doing what you truly want to accomplish by the time you get to point B? Because if you have a target, if you have a direction you want to go, it's going to take time to do anything that's worthwhile, right? Once you understand that whether I do it or not, I'm going to be another year, another 5 years older. So if you have a goal that you want to reach, then take the time now to put a plan together. Fill the time gap. You got to kill the time gap, really. You got to stop acting like you got all the time in the world, and you got to put it into action, as Sarai said. You got to take the first step, and that's doing exactly what you've told yourself you wanted to do with the remaining time that you have left in your life.
Very good. Awesome. So the other point that I wanted to make regarding the timing gap is I wanted to talk about the law of diminishing intent. So what the law of diminishing intent is that the longer you wait to make a decision on something you already know you have to do, the less likely it is that that thing is going to happen. The less likely it is that you will ever take action. And a big part of the reason why that happens is because we start talking to ourselves, and we start talking ourselves out of things, and we start fearing, we start injecting all these fear thoughts. The main thing that stops us from taking action on anything in life is fear. So just understand that, like, when you guys want to do something, you must do it, or you really want to do it, you might even be super inspired to do it. If you notice that you're not taking action, what you need to do is get a piece of paper and a pen and start writing down all your fears related to that. Because the reason why you're not taking action is always going to be fear. It's always going to be fear. So that's just a little hint to throw out there, so that if you're stuck in some decision, if you're stuck in taking action in some place, look at the fears, check your fears, and then ask yourself, when you write down the statements and they're in front of you, because the power of writing things down on paper, it lets you know that it's not you. It makes it objective. It puts it outside of you, and you realize, I am not my fears. I am not my thoughts. So if you write them down, you're able to ask yourself on each one, and write right next to it, make another column and write right next to it, how is this thought benefiting you? Is this thought getting you closer to the life that you envision for yourself? How helpful is this thought for you? And then just write the answers on the other side. You could do that for yourself. That's something that we do in therapy and we do with coaching, but you could actually do it to yourself. And figure it out for yourself, and you could start realizing that what's really stopping you are the fears. Is this something you want to? Oh, but Raymond put that I took action on her health and wellness journey, and I am honored to be of service to her. Yes, because I hired. Look, that's another coach I just hired. I hired her, setting up a keto diet for me, helping me with like workouts and stuff like that. And yes, I took action, and we're gonna start. Well, this is my birthday week, so I'm not starting this week. I'm starting on Monday, and I told him I wasn't going to do that, but I forgot.
First excuse made.
So I'm starting on Monday, Raymond.
Raymond, I hope you bust her butt.
He's so mean to me.
No, I'm not. So wait, look, this is one thing, and I want to say this, right? And I want to narrow fear down a little bit, right? Just for some people, this fear is a wide range of things that is a cause and effect from our upbringing, from our past, our thoughts, the things that we have been taught, the false information that has been poured into our mind. So I just want to go one way, right? I think this. I think elevation creates separation, right? And anytime you begin to elevate in your life, there will be fear because you've never been there before. You've never got to this level of success. You've not got to this level of relationship. You've never met this particular person who makes you feel this way. Whatever it is, there is a fear factor, and it's an unfamiliar place. But that is the cause and effect of where we've been. A lot of us weren't taught to have great thoughts. A lot of us weren't taught to think outside the box. A lot of us were taught to live in a turtle shell and only come out when the scene was clear, right? So you got to understand elevation creates separation. And what's needed to be separated is important, but we have a fear from separating ourselves from the things that have held us in the fear for so long. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but what I really want people to understand, a lot of the things that we fear, right, is the fact that we're going into something unfamiliar. You want to be great, you have the opportunity to be great. You want to be you want to be the absolute best at your particular field. You have the opportunity to do that, but you're going to have to understand that you're going to have to overcome this fear that's going to tell you each time that, wow, man, me? Really? Me? Why me? Why? Like, so I just want us to look at fear a little bit differently, because fear is sometimes the unforeseen things that we're trying to get to that we've never seen before, right? So fear,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
I was going to say that happens because your brain is trying to protect you. The brain's job is to protect us from dying. And our primitive mind is constantly trying to protect us from the unknown, because the unknown is scary. The unknown is danger. So anything that we have never experienced before equals in our brain danger, even if it's not dangerous. So if you know these are all things that if you have this knowledge, it will help you detach yourself from the fear and see it for what it is, and not stop you from doing the things that you need to do. Does that make sense, Raymond?
Yes, I think this. Anytime you get started in something, I think you have to make mistakes as fast as possible. I truly do. I think you have to test the waters, because true success comes true setbacks. Nobody gets to a place in their life of success that they did not have to bust their freaking butt off and overcome so many different things. But those are the things that are going to mold us into the absolute best we can be. So yeah, I just say, whatever you do, face your fear. Do it anyway. Be willing and laugh at the mistakes you make, because any mistake, granted, I'm not talking about like some things that'll end you up in prison or whatever. I'm talking about, or death. I'm talking about most mistakes are going to be lessons that we can learn from to get to the next level faster. Mm-hmm. So when you get started in something, whenever you want to do, and I'm telling myself this, just plant your face through that concrete wall. Your face will heal.
Such a good point. I'm just listening.
My video sucks. This video, like I'm watching myself and I feel like I'm dodging bullets at the end of the Matrix. I just don't know.
Look, that's not happening to me.
It's horrible. This is horrible.
Look, so Elkie says, if I waited for the right time, I wouldn't have done half the things in my life. Laugh out loud. Some of the most beautiful and most important things. That's a great point. Perfect. Exactly. Carrie says, exactly. The sooner you get started, the better. That was you. The longer Ryan King says, the longer we wait,
Great point.
The doubt and fear becomes stronger than the vision. Exactly.
That is a great point. That is a
Actually,
great
that's such a good point. I wanted to read something to you guys, and something that I'm so bad with names, but tell me the author of the book again.
John Maxwell.
John Maxwell. Something John Maxwell says is, what do you think? No. Wait, let me see. I lost the statement. Oh, no, wait.
Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
man, I lost my statement that I wanted to make, and I even told you before. Okay, the longer we wait, I'm not now. I'm like you. I lost my spot of what I wanted to say.
Hey, I'm on a roll now. Now you're holding up the train.
Okay, here it is. You are more likely to act yourself into a feeling than feel yourself into an action. Do I need to say that again?
Say that again. Say it again. Come on.
You are more likely to act yourself into a feeling than feel yourself into an action. And that's for people that are waiting for the right feeling to take their actions.
Okay.
So I thought that was like super good. It's so true. We're always waiting for the emotion, but we're gonna get the emotion while we're on the ride. It's not gonna come first.
Absolutely.
Most of the time, because most of the time we're riding with fear. Jeffrey says, "Who are you working or being? Wait, who you are working at being or to doing the action necessary to get what you will have in the future." I'm reading that terrible. I'm so terrible. All right, I don't. Oh, that's because of I'm with Raymond.
They're congratulating you for taking the week off.
All right, so the next one is, I'm gonna go to the next one before I continue. The number 4 is the fourth gap trap is the mistake gap. I am afraid of making mistakes. Who is guilty of being afraid of making mistakes? Everybody. I think everybody.
Ooh,
Everybody's
that was
afraid
good.
of
That was good. That was good. She said everybody. Everybody.
Everybody's afraid of making mistakes. So that's the fourth gap trap. I'm afraid of making mistakes. So it's basically everything that Raymond just said. Raymond got ahead of us, which is you want to get to your mistakes really quick, and your mistakes are only going to inform your pivot points. Oh, that's not that bad. No. The dark one was better. So your mistakes are going to inform how you need to pivot as you go forward. When you make a decision, you take action, and then when you take action, you got to check to see if your action is giving you the results that you wanted, and if it's not, then you need to pivot. So it's basically what Raymond was just saying about that we need to get faster to our mistakes so that we could know what to do next, basically. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing because you just gave like a huge explanation about that. That was really good.
No, that's fine. Move on. Move right along.
The next one is, which I think a lot of us are guilty of, number 5 is the perfection gap. I have to find the best way before I can start. My argument is you need to start in order to perfect your way. So I hope you guys heard that, because I know there's a lot of perfectionists out there that we're just waiting for the perfect time, the perfect way, the perfect answer, all of these things that don't really exist. Lisa says me. Carrie says everybody. Yes. Keep pointing at me. Yes. Yes, if I waited for the right feeling, then I will be up a creek without a paddle. Yeah, if you waited for the right feeling, and if you waited for the perfect moment and for the perfect plan, that's the other thing, waiting for the perfect plan. In the movie, or I don't know if you want to call it the movie or the documentary of The Law of Attraction, they say you have to take action now, because it's only through taking action that the rest of the way will be illuminated for you. Sometimes the rest of the way isn't going to be, you won't be able to see the rest of the way until you start taking steps forward. There is no perfect moment. All there is the perfect next moment for you. It's the next decision is the only thing you really have to worry about. You want to say something about all that, about the perfection gap?
So I think this. I think if you're constantly worried about having everything complete, the bottom line is this: in success, in growth, in development, in whatever you are aiming for, it's a continued process. So if you can never actually get there, hopefully in your mind, you know you will run the rest of your life. You will spend the rest of your life learning, growing, educating, teaching, loving, learning, repeat, repeat, repeat. So if you know that you're going to continue to grow, then take perfection off of it anyways, because you can become the best exactly at what God has called you to do. The problem is we start to look at everybody else's success. We look at everybody else's. We only see the finished results. We only see the guy on television who ran 7,000 freaking sprints in football practice. We only see the guy who's dropping 30 points in a basketball game. We only see the movie star who, I think, Steve Martin. If you look at Steve Martin's roadmap, wow. And he had a father who always doubted him. And Steve Martin, if you just look at Steve Martin, right? The hours and the years of banging on his craft before he got his first opportunity. Like, if you guys think of that, Harrison Ford was doing it 27 years before he got his first opportunity to do a big movie. Think about that. Mm-hmm. They weren't worried about being perfect. They were worried about becoming the best them they could be, because they believed that once they became the best them and didn't chase that perfection thing. Now, there is a thing where I used to tell my kids, just as Vince Lombardi said, we practice to aim for excellence, and we practice for perfection. We hit excellence along the way. See, mm-hmm. we all want to be perfect, but accept the fact that perfection is unattainable. But you can become excellent. You can become excellent at what you want. So aim for perfection, but not waiting for perfection. Aim for it so you can become the best you. And if you got to do it for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, then you will prepare yourself for that one big opportunity. What do they say? People, get rich overnight. Well, let me tell you, when somebody goes through the NFL or the NBA, the MLB draft, they're drafted and they become instant millionaires. They become millionaires overnight. But what is their story from the 10 to 15 years before that night? See, that's what we fail to realize. You got to be excellent at what you do if you want success. Sorry.
Oh, that was good. That was good. So the other thing I wanted to say.
How come every time I finish talking?
So the perfection gap, the perfection gap and the mistake gap, because we're afraid of making mistakes and we're afraid of making of not being perfect, right? So those two gaps are only excuses. Think about this. They're only excuses for you to not make that decision, or for you to not even get started. Notice how many times you haven't even gotten started because you're too busy focusing on being perfect, and you're too busy worrying about the mistakes that you're going to make. So think about that.
It's the whole thing. It's the I need to make this phone call, but it's too late now. They're probably not awake. Right. I need to do this, but tomorrow's probably better because they're probably eating dinner with their family. We're always making excuses instead of just doing the dang thing, right? It says, look, go ahead, boss.
And remember earlier how I was talking about how fear is the thing that stops us? Perfection gap and mistakes gap is fear-based. It's the fear of not showing up perfect, and what are people going to think, or how bad am I going to look, or it's finally going to be known how imperfect I am. The same thing with the mistake. So notice that everything that we're talking about, these gaps are all fear-based, which was what I was speaking about earlier, that the things that stop us from moving is fear. What else were you going to say?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say this thing. I wrote it down the other day. So when I'm doing coaching or I'm mentoring people, is I always think here's a great, we think we need bigger faith, right? We think like how many, and I'm talking to my sisters and brothers in Christ, right? Is they always talk about, I need more faith. I need more faith. No, you don't need more faith, right? we think we need bigger faith to worry when the Bible says a mustard seed, which is the smallest seed of faith, can move mountains, right? So could it be the problem is not your faith, but it's the perception in what you see? Woo, man, that was good right there, baby.
And you know what? If you start with the mustard seed as you go, he'll give you the rest along the way.
To give you the rest, but
you need to start with the mustard seed.
Perception, the way we see life through the lens that we see through the life, at life is it's not that we don't need faith. We need to see things through a different perspective. I just want to say this, right? Every single person I talk to, I truly believe that they can be successful. I truly believe that they can make the income. Look, when I sit down with people and I ask them to write down what they believe what kind of financial income they can have in the next 5 years, most people who are serious about it don't say $50 million, right? We have to be understanding of really the work that we're willing to do. But if somebody told me, okay, I'm making $55,000 a year, in 5 years I want to be making $150,000, I'm telling you, that is attainable. In 5 years, you could do it sooner. But you got to understand that the way you perceive that $150,000 is going to be whether you get it or not. $150,000 is, if you tweak a couple things, not go get a third job, fourth job, fifth job. If you tweak a couple things, you invest into the right things, you get a mentor and a coach in your life. Mentoring and coach is two different things. Then you can start to perceive that $150,000 in 5 years. You can see it differently. You can smell it. You can taste it. You can touch it. I'm using money because everybody relates so much to money. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah,
that makes sense. And Ryan King says, sometimes we look at the big vision, the whole staircase, instead of mastering each step at a time.
Absolutely.
Reach the top. That's an
man, Ryan's dropping some bombs tonight.
Yeah, he is. That's an excellent point, because it really is about mastering. It's about each step and just taking that one step as best as you can. Not as perfect as you can, but as best as you can. You got to show up as your best. And sometimes that could be different from a day-to-day basis, because things happen in our lives. And maybe today my best is 50%. And maybe another day it's 80, 90%. But as long as every day you're showing up as your best, whatever that version of your best is, it's like what Raymond said on another thing, which is that's going to give you more and more progress. And with progress comes joy. With progress comes happiness and all of that. And not moving at all, obviously, is not going to give you any of that. And also focusing on perfection isn't going to give it to you either, because that's never really an achievable goal. So we talked a lot about this one, about the perfection gap.
All right, so we got 10 minutes.
Don't tell me how much time we have. We have the time that we have.
Did you get that?
Whatever time we got the time that we need.
Oh my God. Look, I'm not even talking no more tonight.
Ryan Key says, yes, use the faith we have. It's that we focus on our fears that covers up the faith that has already been given to us. Yes, exactly. Good man. He is dropping some nuggets there. Tracy says, I will be happy just eating.
I love it, Tracy. So Tracy's my girl. Me and Tracy had a phenomenal conversation. So I definitely get it. And that's the truth is do you know, and this is for me, and it's so funny because sometimes we get to a point in our life where we just settle. We settle. Guys, we don't have to settle. We don't have to settle for simplicity. We can go. I always said this lady used to tell me when I would go to the seminars, and she said, you know what was so great about starting to build my financial wealth is that I could look at a menu and never have to look at the right where the price was. I could just order specifically what I finally wanted to order in my life for the first time. I mean, think about that. Think about how many people go into a restaurant and they nickel and dime themselves to death. Like, I mean, we just have to perceive things differently. Anyways, come on, girl, let's go.
All right. By the way, if you guys want a PDF of these 8 gap traps, because I have to say slow, gap traps. send us your email through Messenger, and we'll get it out to you. No, I got a message. The next one is, so we're on number 6. Number 6, we have 6, 7, and 8. Number 6 is the inspiration gap, and what the inspiration gap is, I think we've talked about it a little bit today, which is waiting for the inspiration, waiting for that feeling to be right in order to make the move, and that is like the worst thing that you could do. You need to move when you know it's time to need to move, with or without the motivation, or with or without the feeling, because we're not always going to have the feeling. Do you think the most successful people out there are feeling great every single day? You think they don't have issues too, or problems too, that they deal with? And we have to do things regardless of how we're feeling or what's really happening, or else that whole thing I was talking about earlier, your momentum could get stopped. Go ahead, Raven. I know you have a lot to say about this.
Why do I always have a lot to say? You talk more than I do.
That's what I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear that. And then you start telling me about the time. So I'm saying, go ahead.
I was not. No, I was.
Inspiration gap. Come on. Inspiration gap.
I think it boils down to this. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Right? You listen. I'm going to tell you this. I say I'm a motivator, inspirator, transformator. Once I motivate you, you have to find the desire to motivate yourself, though, too. You got to know what gets you off the freaking couch. Flat out. You got to know what makes you move. If so many people that I see that are not where they want to be, that watch every episode and then they Facebook everybody what new episode. They watch 8 seasons of one show and then Facebook everybody about what great show can I watch next. And I'm not telling you that that's not a bad thing, but you gotta find something that inspires you. You are watching poison. And I'm not saying again that it's bad to reward yourself with a couple episodes a week. But it's poison because what it's doing, it's disinspiring you. If that's even a word, I just made a Ray word up. It's disinspiring you. You are not going to inspire yourself watching other people live their life. And it's all fairy tale land. None of those shows and episodes are even real. So you're watching false reality, and then you're wondering why you don't have the results you want, right? I think it says John Maxwell summed it up best when he said this. He said, discuss this truth. The major difference between those who do it and those who don't do it is those who do it just do it.
Yes, exactly.
If you guys have never listened to Art Williams, YouTube Art Williams Just Do It Talk. I promise you, Art Williams Just Do It Talk.
Well, you had me hear it. I heard it. It was really good. Just
right?
do it. Just do it.
He says, and he's got a great Southern accent. He's a very successful man. And he says, they'll come to me like, hey there, Art. Hey, Art. I got this. He goes, just do it. Hey, Art, I got all this money. I lost. Just do it. Hey, Art, I had this thing happen to my family. Just do it. And do it. And do it. And do it. So
I know,
good.
It was so good. You have it. Oh, wait. My computer's about to die. And that will not be cool.
Unprepared. You guys see what I deal with, right? The one who's always prepared.
Oh my God. You only have 3. I would have come off like in a second. Well, this whole thing of the
I would have been able to finish. I'd have been okay.
Oh yeah, you would have been so happy about that.
Hey, does anybody got any questions? Like we'll keep going, but has anybody got any questions? Is anybody got any, because we want to bring value, but we also want to answer some questions that you guys are going through at the end. So do you guys have any is there something that you're particularly struggling with? If you don't want to ask a question, you can always direct message me or Sarai, and we'll be happy to acknowledge it. Sarai's over here like doing a dance or something, so it's distracting me.
Ryan says, suggestion is to ask God, how can I use the faith that has been given? Show me the way, get ourselves out of the way, and put God in the way. Ryan
That
is like
is
the
correct.
word tonight.
But that, so what I want to say with that is we definitely, we want to get ourselves out of the way. There's one statement that I do not believe that so many people of faith use, and they say, let go and let God. The problem is you want to let go of the baggage that you're holding on to, but you also can't let God. God will lead you once you move. You got to move. God can't reward a person who sits on the couch and binge watches Netflix, eat Toms and Jerry, and then yells at their kids for standing in the way, right? God rewards those people who let go of their baggage, make a decision to step out in faith, and then God will lead them and back them at the same time. So it's really putting this thing into action. When everybody says, let go and let God, what happens is they say, okay, I'm going to give God my problems. God, take care of everything. And God's saying, no, there's work to do, buddy. You got some stuff to do. Don't just ask me to do all your work. I'll give you all the faith that you need. I'll give you the grace that you deserve. I'll give you the mercy that you desire, but you better do something with what I give you.
Exactly. You can't. It takes action. Back to the action. Jeffrey said, "Absolutely, we do not have to settle for little. We are here to have an abundance and optimum wellness, physical, and mental, and financially. We were put on the earth to have abundance." Thanks. Oh, he had to go.
Amen, Jeffrey.
Just now, but he could watch the replay. The opposite of TV is thinking. I like that. The opposite of TV is thinking.
And what is Henry Ford's quote, Queen Sarai? What is Henry Ford's quote?
You know it. You know that.
Henry Ford said thinking is the hardest thing anybody can do, which is why so few people do it.
What is it? Say it again. Say it again.
See, this is the problem I got.
Somebody type it up.
Henry Ford said, no, Henry Ford said, let me see if this works.
That's good.
Henry Ford said, thinking is the hardest thing that somebody can do, which is why so few people do it. People do not think. People, and I'm not being judgmental because I was one of them. People do not think for themselves. They think other people's thoughts. I've done lives on this before. People think other people's thoughts and they live their life trapped in other people's lifestyle. You want a different life, learn to think for yourself, educate yourself, read the right information, educate in the right areas, get around the right people. See, as I was taking these two young kids home today and I was talking with them, a great conversation, you know what I mean? And you know, and they're telling, you know, I don't want to work for anybody the rest of my life. These are high school kids, right? And I tell them, you don't have to. You know, don't be sold what life tells you what it takes to be successful. Because success in the world's eyes, unless you have something that you truly want to do, then go for it. But success in the world's eyes is literally getting a job, working 40 years for somebody else, collecting a paycheck that if you go on vacation, you spend your money, you do all this. Look, we can save money all we want. But once we retire, that savings is still not going to give us the lifestyle that we always thought we wanted to live. So as I was telling these young men is don't be caught in the net of life. Learn to use what's at your fingertips. Learn to use YouTube. Learn to use Google. This is one thing I told them. Learn to steal other people's stuff. And I didn't mean that like literally steal, but why would you want to reinvent the wheel? Success comes from learning from those who went before you. It's so critical to understand that I want to be a transformational coach. What do I have to learn? Personal development, financial development, spiritual development, leadership development, relationships, period. So I learned from people how to win friends and influence people, the magic of thinking big, how I went from failure to success. All these books, that help you get to where you want to go 100 times faster than learning it on your own. So, and then I look at these young kids, and another thing that we try to do as adults is we have these group sessions and we have these meetings and we talk about what the next generation needs, but we don't even ask the next generation what they want. Some of them don't want to learn what we want them to learn. They just want to know how they can build success so they can leave a legacy for their family, so they don't have to raise their children and they don't have to live in poverty all the time. They don't want to learn everything else. Teach me how to be successful is what I hear them screaming. And then those that want to learn more will dive into more, and we'll give them the tools and the resources. Sorry.
Instead of getting taught of how to be successful, we tell them what to do, of what we think they should be doing, as opposed to letting them be who they are and then teaching them the skills needed to be successful. You know what I mean? Yeah. We tell them what to do instead of just giving them skills so that they could do it their own way. You know what I mean?
It's like force feeding. It's like when we used to have to force feed the baby, and the baby'd be like, "Ugh," and you're trying to stick the spoon in their mouth. Man, I mean, when I talk to them young men today, what it is I love the fact, because I don't know if like people like, all I know is this: I want to hear what they're saying. I want to help these 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old young men, young women, right? Understand that you can live a life that nobody ever told you could live.
Okay. So the next one is number 7. We're on number 7. We have 2. Number 7, the comparison gap. You talk about this all the time. Are you frozen, or are you doing that on purpose?
I'm doing it on purpose.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my, he froze. The comparison gap is obviously, you know, when we start thinking other people are better than us, or why are they so much farther ahead than us? But I guess we all have to understand there's always someone ahead of us. There's always going to be people ahead of us, and we're also going to be ahead of other people. So the role that we need to take is, we're the ones that we're ahead of, how can we model as best as possible? How could we be leaders in that sense, so that we could show the ones that are behind us, show them the way, and then just learn from the ones that are ahead of us, instead of being jealous of them, or instead of comparing ourselves to them? How can we learn from them instead of just focusing on how we're not there yet? And if you're not there yet and you want to be there so bad, all right, then let's do the growth gap. Let's figure out where you want to be, and let's create a plan on how you're going to get there. You want to say something about the comparison gap, because we talk about that a lot.
So I've always had the biggest, some of my BS, right? You guys always hear me talk about the BS. The BS is the belief system, right? And the belief system that I always carried with me was that I was not enough. And it was because a lot of the things that I dealt with. So as I start to get into this game, Sarai tells me all the time, "You just think it's going to happen overnight?" Because I want results fast, right? I'm like, man, like, I give content every day. I give value every day. I love every day. I was out in the city today. I met with one of the pastors. I'm going to be doing a camp. Like, let me go this. When you compare yourself to others, you steal your greatness away from yourself.
That's good. Somebody should type that up. Somebody should type that right now.
So literally, when you compare yourself to others, you steal your greatness away from yourself, right? Because you don't allow yourself permission to go through what they went through. You're looking at their success through the lens of your growth, right?
Yeah.
So what I want us to understand is, I'm a comparison, and look, that is one of those things that I deal with. I'm admitting it. I look at the Eric Thomases. I look at the Jim Rohns. I look at the TD Jakes. I look at all these guys. They've been doing it for 25, 30, 40 freaking years. But I know when TD Jakes got started, he shared the story of how he wanted to quit. He didn't understand the backlash he got for trying to do good things. If you've never heard TD Jakes' story, as you guys can tell, I'm an advocate for studying people, because their stories will help me get through that one bad spot in my life that I got knocked back down, because I want to be successful. I want to be able to create financial success so that when I go into these cities, that I don't have to go to a job, work a 9 to 5, and I can go provide at that camp. And I can be a service to this younger generation. And I can be a service to the people in the community. You can't do that when you're comparing yourself, because you're going to stay stuck where you're at. So I was going to share something and I can't remember now. I had a brain fart. Look, I think we need to have a scoreboard, and not necessarily a scoreboard in our life, but we need to track. We need to be able to track the results that we have, right? Everyone in life has a scoreboard. Why don't you have a scoreboard in your life, right? Why don't you have a scoreboard on Sunday? How many hours of personal development did I do? How much videos did I watch? Right? How many books did I read? How many people did I reach out to and could connect with? How much networking did I do? How much extra, like whatever it is, how did you go above and beyond? Keep a scoreboard so you know what from week to week it looks like. That way, when Sunday comes and you got your scoreboard and it says, hey, well, Ray, you sat on your butt and you watched TV for 32 hours this week. I mean, but then that's the same time where we want to compare ourselves with the greats, is it not? We compare what we're not willing to do with the people that are doing.
Well, and now you're talking about number 8. Number 8 is the expectation gap, and our expectation to get there super quick. So that you could keep talking about it, because that's the expectation gap, right? Exactly the last one that we're doing.
Oh.
Like it says, if Rome was built in a day, how long are you willing to give yourself to grow? So
it's the same thing with your body. It's the same thing with your body, right? This is the thing. I truly believe that most people quit on everything. They quit. People are overweight and not happy with themselves. But the reason they don't get started and stick with it, because they can't see themselves as being a lighter them. They can't see themselves being a wealthier them. They can't see themselves being a better relationship. They can't see themselves, right? So exactly, if Rome wasn't built in a day, if you didn't gain all the weight overnight, if you didn't lose all your money and get into debt overnight, if your marriage or your relationships didn't start to stink overnight, then you have to understand the way you rebuild things is not overnight. It is a step-by-step process that you need to be willing to do the work with the time that you have, the rest of the time on this earth, to grow into the fruit that you were designed to be. Sarai always tells me, you always are taking an orange and trying to get an apple. I'm putting her on blast because she's always picking on me, guys. Right? But it's true.
What a victim. He's always picking at me.
If you're designed and produced to be an apple, then the end result is you'll be an apple. But you know the time to get to there, right, has to be a seed in the ground. Right now, you guys are this. You guys are on step 1. But you're trying to get to step 10. And because you don't want to do the work, I'm going to be flat out honest. I'm going to be flat freaking honest, right? You got to do the damn work to get the damn results. And if you're not willing to do the work, so the eye's laughing at me, then you'll never get the results that you tell everybody you want. Speak it into existence, but act it into existence.
Yes, act it into existence. Act it into existence.
Act it, right? You can tell me all what you want. Week after week after week after week after week after month after month after year, eventually I've already stopped listening to you.
So your actions have to follow the words.
True. Listen, this is what I want to say. I'm gonna end it with this, right? Because Sarai's been talking way too much today.
No, I haven't. You talk for like 30 minutes right now. I've been so quiet right now. For 30 minutes, you've been talking straight.
Did you not tell me to continue on?
Go ahead.
I feel completely like I just got wiped out. I don't want to talk no more.
All right. Well, he said he was going to end it with something, and I don't know what that something was.
Oh, I'm going to mold it after the great TD Jakes. And TD Jakes, I can't do it. I don't have my towel. I don't have my towel to wipe all my sweat because TD Jakes is a bad mamma jamma, right? And TD Jakes says, you better run after your destiny. You better run after your destiny. Listen, all I want to say is, what it was. I'm trying to do it as nice as possible. Because you guys, I hope everyone knows that I genuinely love you. I truly do. But this is the tough love that I used to get, right? And I need you guys to understand. If you truly want it, then shut up and go get it. Don't tell anybody your problems. Don't tell everybody what you want to do. Go out and do it. Because the people you're telling it to really don't believe you or care anyways. There's an old saying, 80% of the people don't care that it's happened or don't care what you have to say. And the other 20% are thinking that it's you.
Who needed to hear shut up and what did you say?
I'm sorry. I didn't know how to verbiage it.
You said damn, you said shut up. But seriously, who needed to hear shut up and go do it? Because I know someone needed to hear that. I know someone needed to hear shut up and just go do it. Right? Who needed to hear shut up and go do it?
Okay. I needed to hear it. I told you guys, I wrote it on my board, right? When I was in prayer the other day and I was asking God for direction. And the Spirit spoke to me in the back of my mind and it said,
shut up and go do it.
The work.
Shut up and go do it.
It said, do the work. Do the work. Do the work. The rewards come from doing the dang thing. Excuse me if I did say damn, I apologize.
Well, now you said dang. Laura needed to hear it. Laura says she needed to hear that.
Yes, thank you, Laura. See, and the thing is, Laura, I need to hear it more than anybody. I truly do. I need to hear it more than anybody.
Yeah, Lisa says me. She needed to hear it too.
I told Lisa, like my sis Lisa, man, is I have had, like, she has been on my mind lately because I believe that she's going to be having a huge breakthrough soon, right? And that huge breakthrough is it's going to be a great thing because a lot of times with the breakthrough is you start to really fall. That was funny. TJ's impersonation.
That was funny.
You gotta run for your destiny. You gotta run for your destiny. Sorry, guys.
You did it. You actually sounded like him. Like, hold on. Laura says, dang, not damn. This is dang. Amen. Hey guys, so whoever is still here, which is a whole entire 5 people who are still here, I have 4 questions to start you on your building your growth gap. Figuring out where you are and where you want to be. 4 questions. So write them down. Shoot me your email through Messenger, and I'll get it. I'll get all this information out to you and the questions. But the first question is, where do you want to go in life? Question number 1 is, where do you want to go in life? What does that end goal look like? And we're not talking about next year. We're talking about like what. I think you were talking about this the other day in your life. Like, what do you want your legacy to say about you, which is a vision of your end goal. So, what do you want? Where do you want to go in life? What do you want to be said about you? Number 2 is, what direction do you want to go? So, what direction do you want to go? Number 3 is, what's the farthest you can imagine going? And I guarantee whatever came up in your head, the farthest that you imagine going, you could go way farther than that. But at least just answer, what's the farthest that you could imagine going? And number 4 is, how long do you think it will take you to get there? And those questions are going to help you make the transition to being more intentional in your life. If you identify like where you want to go, what's the farthest you think you're going to get there, what direction do you think you should take, and how long do you think it would take you to get there? I mean, there's probably other questions that are good questions to ask right now too, but those are the 4 that I have right here. Do you have any other questions that you think will trigger them?
No, I want to close it out with this though, because I listen, guys. I don't. Sometimes I am human, and I do kind of go on tangents, but these are truly the things that I'm telling myself, right? Sarai will tell you there's things that I still struggle with. I'm human on the building process, but I'll never freaking quit. I will never quit. I will continue to build myself, read the books, do the things that I need to do. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because it is a tough game. To live a life of your vision, of your choice, is a tough game. And it says, and I want you to talk, like, because you know my faith is everything, and I didn't touch a lot on biblical principles because, you know, sometimes it's going to go Sunday though. Sunday. You don't want to miss Sunday night. It's going to be power in the house, right? And it says, you live among people who glorify busyness. They have made time a tyrant that controls their lives. Even those who know me as Savior tend to march to the tempo of the world. They have brought into the illusion that more is always better. More meetings, more programs, more activity. I have called you to follow me on a celerity path, making time alone with me your highest priority and deepest joy. It is a pathway largely unappreciated and often despised. However, you have chosen the better things, which will never be taken away from you. Moreover, as you walk close to me, I can bless others through you. So if you listen to that in Luke 10:40, right, it says this. This is when Mary and Martha, when Jesus came to eat with them, and I'm sure it's already going biblical, but this is so true, because we get wrapped up in the busyness of life. Remember, I always talk about stop being so dang busy and be intentional, right? And here it says in Luke 10:38 through 42, I'm just going to share this and then I'm gone. Now it happened as they went that he in a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. She sat with Jesus. She sat with him. But Martha was distracted with so much serving, and she approached him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Therefore, tell her to help me. That's what Martha's saying to him. Tell my sister to help me, dang it. Right? And then Jesus answered and said to her, Martha, Martha, kind of like Linda, right? It says, you are worried and troubled about many things, but one thing is needed, and Mary has chosen that good part, which will not be taken away from her. And I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but what the lesson here is, Mary understood what she was in the presence, right, of the Lord. Martha understood that he was Lord, but Martha was too worried about staying busy in his presence to please him. Sometimes we're so worried about pleasing people that we fail to find what's truly the point of the whole thing. Mary understood that, and Jesus said that she has chosen good. So make sure you understand that where you're going in life, that what you're doing for the people that you think want the best of you, that they're not keeping you busy, and that the one good part is the one thing that'll get you closer to your ultimate destination.
Bam.
Bam, baby. You got to run for your destiny.
So we did exactly an hour and a half. Woo! That seems to be the number. That's the number that we're doing.
Sorry, guys. It's look, so I had me so unprepared. I'm gonna put her on blast.
Oh, I'm gonna put you on blast. I've been trying to get prepared for 2 days.
She has, but listen, Linda. I have been doing some work. So
All right, guys, so we'll be back. We're gonna
no. One more thing. So we're gonna come. We're gonna do Wednesday night. We're gonna discuss. We're probably gonna do Wednesday night. We're gonna try Wednesday night, correct? We're gonna try Wednesday night.
Yes.
What time?
Our magical time, 7:30.
7:30 Wednesday night. I got a favor, and I'm not going to promise you we're going to use it, but I want you guys to come up with a name, right? So this is the transformational thought. Like my daily talks are transformational thought with Ray, right? So we both feel like we need to come up with something better than transformational thought with Ray and Sarai, right? So I want to throw it out there to you guys, right? What do you think would be a good dynamic duo for us? And if it's good enough, maybe we'll use it.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh gosh.
Ryan, come up with a name. Elkie, come up with a name. Lisa, come up with a name. There's like 11 people here. Laura, come up with a name. I don't know who else is there, but come up with a name for us because we don't have a name. We don't have a name. And what was that other name that Elkie said earlier? What was the name Elkie said earlier?
I thought she just kept telling us to behave.
Kids. No, she said a name. It was a dancer, like some dancers or something.
Sorry, guys. I have no idea what she's talking about. But
she came up with a name and you were so happy about it.
Oh, Kid and Play.
Yeah, Kid and Play.
But you don't know who Kid and Play is?
No, and which one is Kid and which one is Play?
You think that you're from the old school and you all cool and you don't even know who Kid and you never seen the movie House Party?
Yeah, I saw that one. Oh,
she's
look,
lying.
Ryan said Kid and Play.
if she doesn't know who Kid and Play is, she ain't watched no House Party.
I'm not good with names. I'm not good with remembering names.
What's the stars of the movie?
All right, guys. So
anyways, we love you guys. You guys know I love you, and you know.
It was a joke. She said it was a joke. He says it was a joke. That's not a real name for us.
It was a joke. So anyways, you guys help us out. If it's good enough, maybe we'll start using it because, you know, it is what it is. But I appreciate each and every one of you for dealing with us for an hour and a half. We're really trying to get this thing under an hour.
So Raymond doesn't stop talking. And so
I don't stop talking, and I do enjoy engaging with our viewers.
My company.
I'm not even going to say anything anymore. But Sunday night, 8:30, Sunday special. I will have a special guest. She's a powerhouse. She's a great friend of mine. I love her to death, and we're going to really open up. We're going to really open up God's word. So hopefully I see you guys 8:30 because you ain't going to want to miss it because you'll have a great week.
Yes, 8:30 Sunday and next Wednesday. And I'm doing Thrive Talk next week with Jeffrey on Thursday at 7:30. So
sweet.
Wednesday.
So we're busy. We're busy.
Yep. All right.
And then next week I'll be doing my transformational thoughts with Ray. But the following week I'll do them, but I'll be doing them from a sports camp. So they'll be very short, and I'll just want you to see all the kids that are enjoying themselves in the FCA camp. So that week I'm not really going to bring a lot of nuggets, but I'm going to bring some joy and show you what we're doing in the community. So
look at Ryan. He said, "This is hilarious. Is there an after party?"
Oh yes,
that's so true, Ryan. Every week I watch it, and I'm like a mad woman, like laughing in the car by myself, watching this.
You guys heard it. She's a mad woman.
Nice lineup. Yep, lineup. All right, are you gonna put music?
We love you guys. We love each and every one of you, and I can't tell you I appreciate you guys more than anything. I really truly do.
What's up with the music?
We'll do that next time.
Oh God, it's not. Everybody wants to hear music.
But you didn't. You listen, Linda, Stacy, whatever.
Oh, now it's a new name. Now it's Linda.
Huh?
Now it's Linda.
Hold on. Zip it, Lippy.
Lippy.
Hey, look. We're on YouTube.
I told you.
Oh.
Thank you, guys.
I wonder if we got any views.
Thank you guys for showing up and participating and laughing with us. And also, if you guys have any things that you would like us to talk about, go ahead and send that down too. Give it to Ray on his week, not on my week. Look, Ryan said, Laura, I'm gonna call you. I need to make an appointment with you.
Yet we were sinners, Christ did forgive us. Jesus rules everything around the pillar.
But I gotta do like you.
Just the way I choose to rep my city.
All right, bye everybody.
But now I got them Bama boys, let me shout the B. Shout the Huntsville, shout out to the Gump, shout to Mo.